day, sir.
Good day.
Viewers, if you are watching, click on the like button, drop your comment, and also share this program. West African nations endorse Obi in Ghana conference as Jonathan shows Tinubu's election in Ghana. What do you have to say about it? Because the other time we saw Peter Obi and Jonathan meeting in a secret, it's called secret meeting in Nigeria before going to Ghana. Now both of them are in Ghana. Now what do you have to say about this?
I think the popularity of the reality on ground is spreading all over, West Africa. I can see a lot of things is already going on. The 2027 election is already steaming. Whether people are saying that the early campaign might not even be okay, well, for the coalition forces. But no matter how you see it, they have to take their popularity and their campaign beyond the shores because of the structures they found themselves right inside. We can see that massive rejection of Bola Tinubu re-election has taken another dimension. They have taken the battle to Ghana now, South Africa, and in that conference you can see Obi was there. You can see Jonathan was also in that conference. And what does that signal? It tells you there is a total rejection among West African nations. And not only that, you can see that most of these West African nations does not align with the Tinubu's Macron agenda. I can tell you, we saw what happened why they decided to pull out from ECOWAS and form their own Sahel confederate states or union or whatever, just to protect their interests. Unfortunately, Bola Tinubu has not been able to bring those people back to ECOWAS, which I am personally in support of that. What is it that we are benefiting from ECOWAS, that we continue to be part of that bloc? ECOWAS is a total disappointment. AU is a total disappointment because these are the blocs that continue to mortgage the African resources, the African mandate to the Western world to be used for their own selfish reasons. And now you are seeing these nations inviting prominent individuals. You can see they came out boldly and make it very clearly they are going for Obi and they are backing Obi presidency. And a lot of people are wondering if they are mentioning Obi, then what happens to Jonathan. He was also in Southwest a few days ago where he met with major stakeholders in Southwest, and he has been moving around signaling that he is going to be positioned for the next president come 2027 if Nigeria they did not break up, according to CIA report, that by 2026, if care is not taken, there will be balkanization of Nigeria. Nigeria will go their separate ways. If Nigeria still remain in unity till then the West African leaders, nations themselves, who gathered in that conference in Ghana, has made it very clearly that they are going to actually, back Peter Obi presidency, 2027. That's a huge one for Peter Obi. That's a huge one for the obedient. That's also a huge one, for the coalition forces, and also a signal that now it has become very clear that people are already, choosing direction, even outside the shores of this country. So, what that puts on the table in Aso Rock currently now is that I think to an extent Bola Tinubu should start preparing and start packing. Yes, he might have the national resources now to dismantle anything, as been reported by the Northerners, that is already paying huge amounts of billions as reported to party chairman and the rest of them, just to see how he's going to navigate his way to become the re-elected president come 2027. That would be extremely difficult, but we don't know what is going to happen at the end of the day. But we are just telling you, that there's wider acceptability. Yes, a lot of people are saying it, that Traore, Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso wrote a memo to Peter Obi and claiming, or taking a decision that he is the one, they are looking for, to put a kind of a transformation that will bring, Africa to, global limelight, in terms of, Africa being independent, and to kind of show a kind of policy where a situation where, Africa will begin to define and find their roots, without Western interference, just like what we are seeing in Burkina Faso today. So I don't know how Bola Tinubu is going to survive 2027 with the organic support we are seeing in this. And from what happened in that Ghana conference where Jonathan was also present, it looks like Jonathan is going to support Obi 2027. Yes, because we have seen Obasanjo making a categorical statement. You can see it in that video that without Obi, nobody is going to occupy 2027. The Northerners are saying the same thing. Everybody is saying the same thing. Obi is just the next phase of 2027 presidential election, and Bola Tinubu might have seen that angle, and that is why he is bent on attacking anything that has to come from that region, including how he is manipulating the health of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Yes, that is the fact, and that's what it looks like. A lot of people might not know what is actually playing out behind the scene, but it looks like Nigerians are hoping and comfortable that if all things go well, then we are in for another transformation and leadership in Obi come 2027.
With the help of Jonathan 2027, do you think Obi can defeat President Bola Tinubu?
Jonathan is a global figure, a well-respected international, leader in terms of conflict resolution. That's what the United Nations gave him as a task, and he has been fulfilling it, for some time now. Jonathan, to so many people, it means a lot of things, but to those who understand what Jonathan Jonathan still remain a formidable force in terms of joining forces with other powerful Nigerians to save Nigeria from degenerating into economic hunger, economic threat, burden imposed on them by this administration. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has also taken a stand, has been reported. I can watch on this video. He said it very clearly. So everything seems to be moving towards that direction of Obi and Obi 2027, and that is what it is. I can tell you, Jonathan might, because of the leadership and integrity of Mr. Obi and the yearning of millions of Nigerians, that Obi should be allowed to fix certain things that is actually wrong with Nigeria.
But there is a controversy on all social media platforms. That why hasn't Peter Obi declared the party he will contest on that?
Yes, I think it's a well-calculated strategy, to keep the ruling party APC, guessing over what is actually the plan of the opposition. They don't want to disclose that. So as it appears, that will come towards the end of the reality of 2027, when the real campaign will start, when INEC will come up with timetable, on what then the campaign proper will start. And also take note that a lot of things are already been in the pipeline now and sorted out. A lot of logistics modalities are being worked out. Realignment and agreement is going on. So Obi cannot come out now and say, okay, this is where actually he stands, until the people who are championing his presidential cause are able to work out some certain things on the ground, and everybody agrees amicably. There should be at that level, a kind of internal democracy processes, consensus reached, and then Obi can come out and say, okay, I'm coming out on the platform of ADC, I'm coming out on the platform of ADC. But also remember that the court of competent jurisdiction has ascertained that Obi's faction of the Labour Party is the authentic faction coalition of LP. And that's the same thing we are seeing in ADC, where we are having Mark and Arebeshola, taking a firm stand of that coalition party, which has already been adopted by major opposition political parties in Nigeria. A global warm-up for Obi, and of course, in that direction. But we are still watching and waiting the response that's going to come from the camp of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar ahead of 2027. We don't know actually, how he intends to do that. But I can tell you that Atiku, in his wisdom and knowledge and respect and selfless service to humanity, might decide to jettison his presidential ambition and back the next president of Nigeria, okay. Peter Obi.
Let me close with you. The viewers, if you are watching, click on the like button, drop your comment, and also share this program. Do you think Peter Obi will be a betrayer if he leaves Labour Party, or politics doesn't require loyalty?
No, politics actually requires loyalty and commitment. Those are the fabrics that keeps a politician running, and of course realizing his ambition. There should be some level of trust, because trust has to do with agreement and some other things surrounding it. But it will not be a betrayal, because Obi is still in charge. So if Obi is going to run or going to leave Labour Party, it has to be with the consensus and the consent of the Labour Party leaders. That's what it is, before he moves. If he's going to do the same thing, he's going to do the same thing under ADC. That is what it is. And I can tell you that is not betrayal, but Obi, in pursuit of his ambition, handed over to him. It's not Obi that is running. Nigerians themselves, the obedient movement, the youth of this country, who are yearning for a good governance, are the one pushing Obi to wherever he's going to go and contest 2027 election.
Viewers, if you are still watching, click on the like button. If you have not done so, drop your comment and also share this program. God bless you and have a nice day.
Thank you.